democracy allows for fair hearing. This is reckless. This is ungodly.
When news break, we engage experts in critical analysis.
Do you see your party coming into power come 2019?
This administration will succeed and succeed well.
You cannot be running a 4-year tenure like you are running a 20-year tenure.
He has done fairly well, especially where insurgency and terrorism is concerned.
Then it gets controversial.
They have a right to their opinion. Can we, very interesting gentlemen, just hold on.
I am about principle and I am about focus.
Now, you see, let me
say
this.
So that our soldiers will be free. We should also ask for justification.
Core Digest, your #1 program for current issues. Welcome back on the program, and that was the headline news there. We now continue with our talk segment, tackling insurgency, the FG recipe. At this time, I still have with me in the studio former member, House of Representatives, Congressman, and also APC governorship aspirant in Ekiti State, Bimbo Daramalamen. Thanks for staying tuned on the program this morning. We also have here Dr. Dayakao, the political technocrats. Thanks for staying tuned. Now let's go on that same issue of tackling insurgency in the country. This time, Bimbo, you were making analysis concerning this present administration doing its best to ensure that this issue of killings, insurgency in Nigeria is nipped in bud. Do you feel that the recent case of the Dapchi Dapchi schoolgirls is political?
When I heard about the Dapchi experience, the first reaction was like, no, again, I almost didn't believe it until of course, there was a little bit of, whether it happened or it didn't happen, and then it went on to the numbers and all of that. I almost could say that, no, this shouldn't be happening again, okay? And then I got to talk to somebody who's from that area, and my worry still is, Dapchi from Maiduguri is 6 hours drive, I'm told. From Yobe, Yobe, from Damaturu, it's about 6 hours, okay? And then I was told that 5,000, maybe not, let's say that's hyperbolic, let's say that's exaggerated. Let's say 1,000 insurgents drove 6 hours to get to Dapchi, okay? And then took time to take 110 girls. Doctor, I'm shocked. It's a failure of everything. And I'm honest. I mean, this is not a PMB issue. Maybe PMB, being our president, yes, the buckets on this table. But the truth of the matter is that for the guys, this president had acted proactively by deploying people there. So say, take charge of this area, Northeast. And so, with a presidential marching order, I honestly do not and would not feel that any reason would be justiciable and justifiable.
So on whose instruction at this time did they leave that particular axis that we are having the blame game?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why would they leave that area? Up till today, it remains a flashpoint. Why would they leave the flanks open? You understand? So, I am told that there was an area survey or area, intelligence that tracked those guys leaving, and that the military pulled out because they said the policemen could take over from there. But at what point in time did the handshake break? So I am worried that anybody could drive into our territory in this country, drive 6 hours into our territory and do that and move away. It portends a whole lot of danger.
Damn.
Yeah.
What's your take on all this?
Yeah, you see, I always look at my own things differently. And I like making a comparative analysis of issues. Number one, let us look at the period that Chibok issue happened towards 2015 general elections. You should look at that period and then check the period that this Dapchi thing also happened you see that there is a kind of similarity. That is one. Two, look at that key issue. We have security men that have been deployed there. But people are now saying they left that place. At that time, this one occurred. The issue now is who ordered them to leave that place? Are we saying there is no logbook controlling the movement? Now, let us check whether this thing is even political or not.
What's your own assertion?
Whether it's no, I'm doing an analysis now. I'm doing a kind of comparative analysis for us to now be able to come to a conclusion.
I don't want you to sit on the fence. What's your own assertion of the FG's recipe in all of this? Do you see this as a political affair? Because you just gave a scenario to the 2015 election. We have
I've not finished
Chibok.
the scenario.
We have Chibok in 2014. We have Dapchi in 2018.
Emmanuel, at my level, if you ask me 2 + 2, I can tell you it's 5. But then I will give you why it's 5.
But that's not real.
It could be 5. It could be 5. 2 + 2 could be 5, and 2 + 2 could be 0.
In what sense?
That is exactly what I'm trying to show you now.
So tell us more.
Now, look at the principal of Chibok, the Chibok school there. Where is that woman now? What political appointment has been given to her? 2, one of these ministers, this woman, what's her name again? Who contested for governorship in
Alazan.
You could see that she said something the other time that look, if care is not taken, I will spill beans as regards Chibok's scenario. She said it was in the papers. So what are the beans you want to spill? Now don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. There are also some beans on this particular Dapchi to be spilled. So anybody can now come to a conclusion whether it is political or not, and perhaps some of those things that Ekeremedu is saying, but we politicians, we have started again. Let us be careful, so that, do you understand? So these issues must be looked at critically. People must look at it critically.
So how critical are you looking at it?
Yes, the issue now is, number one, the security people that were detailed there and left that place. Why should they leave that place at that particular point in time? 1, 2, what is happening to our borders? What is happening to our highways for some criminals to have been able to travel such a long distance and then carry away our girls? It is suicidal.
So how will you rate FG's performance in all of this?
In security,
the present administration in all of this.
When it comes to security, they are saying that technically they have defeated Boko Haram. Some along the line they say yes, they have defeated Boko Haram totally, but we are still seeing activities of Boko Haram. We are seeing activities of herdsmen. We are seeing activities of kidnappers. We are seeing activities of killers here and there. So, what else do they have to do? Their security on security, my brother.
How will you rate them concerning their recipe in tackling their security?
They have not been able to tackle security as far as I'm concerned. If some hooligans can travel such a long distance and cut away our girls, then do you want to tell me that they have been doing anything on security?
Remember,
why can't they use? Why can't we have this satellite whatever now? Where did they put their satellite imagery? Can we use satellite imagery to trace these people?
Just a moment, Dio. The 3 cardinal points of your administration when they came into power is to tackle the issue of economy, the issue of insecurity in the country, and corruption. And here you had Dio Kade saying here concerning insecurity, your party has not done well.
I don't think that's very correct. That's not being generous, I'm afraid. And my friend and brother should be a little bit more generous with well, I understand the sentiments. But I don't think it's as bad as it portrays it, or he has portrayed it. I think, first and foremost, in recognition of the fact that there will be perpetual threats The Constitution, section 14, 1 or 2, said the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. And so when APC decided, and of course we were foisted with, pervasive insecurity at that time, somebody will ask me, okay, look at Dapchi. I agree. But the constitutional provision recognizes that there will always be threats. You understand? The question will be, what are we doing? Now, how Dapchi happened or not remains a puzzle that people in that level, that hierarchy, should be able to deal with and attend. But these are my propositions. I would suggest that intelligence failed. There was a failure of intelligence. 2, the attitude of President Buhari would have been, or had been, to be proactive. And that was why he deployed people there. So you score the president high on that. But the point is that the president won't be wielding directives. He won't be the one that will be doing day to day, minute by minute, second by second deployments or actions in that area. I'm too sure the president must have been like, did this really happen? I'm very sure it will have been no. Now, if you match that with herdsmen thing and all of that, I agree with what Doki has said. The truth of the matter is that the guys who are killing people, I am not too sure they are really the herdsmen. I'm not too sure. And we should have been able to find that out by now.
Yeah.
It could, listen, like the way you are intelligent as you are, you cannot handle a rifle like AK-47. You can't. When I went training how to shoot, going to the shooting range and all that, it took a lot of time for me to know how to shoot.
Not even AK-47 you'll be given.
No, it's not even AK-47. They won't give me AK-47.
Yeah.
They won't give me AK-47. They never gave me AK-47 to go to the shooting range.
How to shoot as a lawmaker?
No. I mean, as a sport, it's a game.
Now.
You know, to be able to shoot and then, precision shooting and all of those things and all that. You understand? Like darts and all of that. You can do it. You can learn. You can go to shooting ranges and all of that and try that. But the truth of the matter is that even the recoil of a gun like that would throw you off balance. So the guys who are Malam El-Rufai said something that the guys who are busy killing people, that the Fulani that we grew up to know only had one stick. And Yorubas have been saying, Papa Fulani no fin dagba malu.
You have to interpret that.
That small stick of the Fulani boy is the one that he uses to shepherd all the head.
And I grew up to know what they call the Fura de Nono. That well, he's been given.
Even sir, my honorable sir, when we were growing up,
yes,
all those Fulani men, when they are going in the morning, we always sing for their malu.
Okay.
And when they are coming back, their wives gives us wara to eat. As small children there. Leke before we say leke But all of a sudden.
Dayo, let me throw this question to Bimbo. Are you confident that your party and this present administration will bring back the 110 Dapchi school girls?
Without doubt. And I'm not being sentimental. You know, the point is that this administration is going to be judged by Dapchi. Nigerians are going to put that on the table when we go to the elections in 2019. There's no doubt about it. One of the things that sank President Jonathan's administration was Chibok.
Let's go back now to your own purview at this time, away from the issue of tackling insurgency. At this time, ahead of the Ekiti governorship election, now many matters arising here. Looking at the APC, we have about 35 aspirants on the APC side at the moment, and Bimbo Daramola is also one of them. Bimbo, what convinced you to say, well, I also want to contest under this issue of Ekiti governorship election?
One simple thing. This is not, even at the worst of times, this is not the best that we can get out of Ekiti. Even at the worst, I'm saying rock bottom, back to the wall, anything. If we have such a bad situation, extremely bad situation, I am not too sure this is the best we can take out of the worst situation. And I'm convinced without doubt that I have requisite credentials to lay claims to that. I was born there. I was raised there. For the first 25 years of my life, I was out of that. I was in that place. I was born in Ilea BA Hospital, Ado Ekiti. I went to Christ Austrian Primary School, Ado Ekiti. I went to Henley Afin, Ado Ekiti. I went to St. Philip's, Ado Ekiti. I went to Christ School, Ado Ekiti. And then I went to Ondo State University, Ado Ekiti. How more can you be homeboy? So I'm in a position, without doubt, to connect our past with our present and situate the realities of today in the context of the tomorrow. I couldn't have imagined. Listen, I posted it on my page, and I said to them that growing up, woe betide a politician who approaches an Ekiti man with a bag of rice and 200 naira for his vote. In the days of Professor Banji Akintoye, you would dare. You will not dare. You know, the same Ekiti where we walked away, turned our backs on our own son, Akemogorewo, and went after somebody from Owo. So that's why our campaign, the Nitorejala campaign, the Bimbo Ekiti campaign, is all centered about the realities of the fact that I know who we were, and I still know who we are. What you see today in Ekiti is not who we are. I can say, and I would expect that our leaders, I mean non-political leaders, will also connect the dots. If you go too far on this path, it's heading to perdition. Listen, I'm not an alarmist. I'm not a later day terrorist or alarmist or something like that. I am saying it because I know this road that we're treading is a journey to nowhere.
Bimbo, let's just hold on your line of thoughts, and let's open the phone lines now to get the reactions of Nigerians on what we're looking at this morning, tackling insurgency in the country, the FG's recipe, and also ahead of the Ekiti governorship election. Many matters indeed arising there. Let's allow your calls and comment to come into the studio this time. I must let you know that you don't have the right to attack any personality on the program. Just make your comment as plain as possible. Do not make any hate speech. Well, if you do, we have the right to do the needful, and please reduce the audio of your TV set so that we can have that smooth communication on the program this morning. Let me still come back to you, Bimbo, talking about this Ekiti governorship election with all what you've said and now. Having the likes of Femi Ujudu at this time in line with this, the Minister of Mines also in this race. Do you feel, or you have that's what it takes to challenge these people at the primaries?
Well, what does it take to be the governor of Ekiti State? To be a good governor, really? I will expect that, and this is what I've been doing for the past 20 months.
Just a moment, we have an international call this time. Obina is calling us from Ghana. Many thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Australia. Good morning, your guest over there.
Good morning.
Yeah, about the tackling insurgency in Nigeria. First of all, if you look at all this, when the planning men started having the AK-47, taking the upper hand, security protect and all that, you will see that it all started all of a sudden when the APC government came into power. Because we can remember back in 2016 or thereabouts what Governor El-Rufai tweeted on Twitter, that anybody who killed a planning man collected a loan, that even 100 years to come, the person will pay with his own blood. And that is exactly, you're paying back time they are paying, whether you like it or not, whether you call it a hate speech or not. It is paying back that those planning men that is in power now are using planning men to pay back those.
Okay, we lost connection there with Obina from Ghana. Man, thanks for joining us on the program this morning. You can continue with your line of thoughts.
Right. Ekiti, 2.3 million people. We used to be known as the state that breeds professors. Way back in 1962, Commander Ebenezer Obey sang a song, I want more Ekiti, one Kawi, one Mura, Ado Ekiti, and said all of that. That was way back. Go and check the reputation, the profile and of Ekiti man way back, and then compare with the profile of today. A people who loses their identity, when the people decide to forget who they are, it's just like the ego, believing and now behaving like a chicken. It's not my word saying it, go and find out. Omo alasho tí ń wà kìsà báyìí.
Can you interpret that?
Yes, the son of a butcher is beginning to eat bones, and not big skin bones, real hard bones, strip bare of meat. The son of a butcher. Okay? And then the son of a woman who retails clothes is beginning to wear rags. I just alluded to this, and everything I say, please listen to me very carefully. I am saying it on authority. I grew up there enough to know that one, when I was in school, we had school uniforms. Our education curriculum had sufficient dosage of character and integrity behind it. So much so that one time I was with President Olusegun Obasanjo, and somebody alleged that one of his aides, Uncle Badude, had something, and he said, "You can say Ekiti man is stubborn, but you cannot call him a thief." Is that still the case today?
Just a moment. We have a caller calling us from Jaws, Fifth from Jaws. Many thanks for joining us. We lost connection with her there. Thank you very much for calling on the program. You can go on with your line.
So, what I seek to do first and foremost is, and the mantra of my campaign, which is just not a mantra, is informed by realities. We want to restore the pristine identity of the Ekiti man. The state that gave up Professor Bodrin, the first professor of mathematics in West Africa. The state that gave us people like Professor Oshundokun, foremost neurosurgeon. The state that gave us Afe Babalola, the state that gave us Wole Olanipekun and all. How much of effort are we doing to put in place today to give us the likes of Wole Olanipekun? And then let's leave education. Do you know that the Ekiti that people are now portraying as a desert today gave us Chief Adishilowo, the father of the present chief of staff to the governor? The man did go to school. Baba Omolayo, a foremost entrepreneur, okay, way back, gave us Omolayo printing press. Adishilowo gave us the equivalent of the modern day ShopRite, Adishilowo stores. Mama Jinodu, a foremost woman, entrepreneur, successful business magnate, selling ever before Dangote started selling cement. Mrs. Mama Jinodu had been selling cement in Ado-Ekiti. And then we have Adeoluwa. Ever before we have Ife Sinachi. I know all of those things. I have that. And I'm asking questions.
Just a moment. We have a caller calling us from Meloni. Man, thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Mr. Emmanuel.
Good morning.
Welcome. And good morning to you again.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you. Please, I want to ask of the issue of this kidnapper.
Okay.
Because the caller from Ghana said the herdsmen come to do appraisal of killing the farmers in the Benue state. Now, where is our radar? That is our satellite in the orbit. To where is our satellite in the orbit to detect these people when they are doing all this?
Okay. Thank you very much, Colonials. You've made your point there. Talking about having satellites in the orbits. What have you done? You quickly want to react to that one?
That's what I asked that one the other time. Even if it's not working, can we even liaise with Landsat in America? They will give it to us. What was the name of this small aircraft that crashed on his way to Obudu the other time? For 9 months they were looking for this beechcraft. It was through satellite imagery that they let us up to that. They now said it was one farmer that was going to. Has that farmer not been passing through there for those months? Do you understand? So let us go back to our satellite image. Play it back. Satellite image is like when you are playing back this CCTV thing.
Just a moment. We have Ben from Enugu. Good morning. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Okay.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Go on with the comment, please.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. I want to contribute on this issue of insurgency.
Okay.
Please, what is happening in this country? Personally, I'm an Igbo man, but I don't support evil. Is it because Mr. President is a Fulani man that anything that people are doing against herdsmen? What's the population of herdsmen in this country? Killing a Port Harcourt herdsman, killing Enugu State herdsman, killing Lagos State. Kaduna, herdsmen everywhere. Are they 200 billion people? All these killings are political. It's just a way to man the image of our president. It's just a way to sabotage the government in power. I know PDP has been in power for 16 years. You have the money to, as opposition party, to fight the government. But the way they are doing it is very childish. I don't like it. We should pray for the person in power, pray for those in authority, so that it will be well with you and with your relations and whatever.
Okay,
so,
thank you.
Thank you for this.
Thank you very much, Ben, from Enugu. You can wrap it up with what you're saying.
Yes, we should resort to using satellite imagery to fish out these girls. There is no how. If you go back to it, that we will know how they move. Definitely, it will show us, so that everything. So that we can bring back these girls. You know, their parents are not happy now. The girls where they are now, they are being molested. They're supposed to be in school. What future do they have again? So let our president try as much as possible and bring back all these imageries and then play it so that we know how to fix these girls.
Let me come back to you, Bimbo. How will you rate the performance of the PDP in your own state, Ekiti? Talking about Governor Ayodele Fayose. Some would say Ayodele Fayose is a grassroots person in that particular state, saying all what he's doing in the state with the people.
Well, I'm hesitant to talk about him at this time, but I would say a little bit. The life of Fayose also has a little bit of inspiration from a man who started his political career with who is Ayo Fayose. He started his political career with that. That means he was unknown. And then today, everybody knows him across the length and breadth of this country. That is also an Ekiti spirit. A go-getting a spirit. Go achieve this. That's number one. Number two, rating his administration.
You will continue with these numbers, but we have calls coming in, and I hope we get calls from Ekiti also. We have Stephen calling us from Rivers. Many thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning to the guests in the studio.
Stephen, good evening. Good morning, sorry.
Good morning to the guests in the studio.
Go on,
I want to contribute to the program.
Go on.
You see, what is happening in Nigeria today as regards the security is alarming. You see, during Jonathan's administration, I believe that it was relatively peaceful then. But what is happening today is genocidal to me. Because how can herdsmen, they are attacking, killing people, and we have not seen the killing of the. I will not say that they are herdsmen, they are terrorists. They are terrorists. Because herdsmen do not kill people that way. Because we should not trivialize the killing of the terrorists. And now the issue of the Dapchi girls, I think is political. All things are political. The truth is that we are playing politics of not being honest. We should be honest. The problem of our issues are politicians.
Okay.
They are politicians.
Thank you very much. You've made your point in 60 seconds. Thank you very much for joining us on the program this morning. Back to you, Bimbo.
Emmanuel, please oblige me to chip in a little bit on this herdsmen thing. As in way forward, I would suggest that one, government would increase the sensitivity by being more proactive. Two, I would suggest that scientific, like Doctor said, scientific approach, more scientific approach should be deployed. Three, I would suggest that a sociological studies of all of these things should be conducted quickly. Number four, which is almost the most important, is that they should be able to trace how these things get funded. For these things to have remained till today across the length and breadth of this country, there must be a rich source of income. There must be somebody exchanging resources to fund this now. I'll give you an example. President Obasanjo became president in 1999. And later in 1999, running up to 2000, there was the Kaduna crisis, okay, and then all of those things were happening, and President Obasanjo moved in and said there must be somebody funding it, and it was traced to somebody in Kaduna who was busy committing resources to destabilize that administration. So it must be a multi-pronged approach to it. And of course, we must also check the level of intra-agency cooperation. You saw them on television when the Director General, when the DGSSS said the cooperation between the agencies are broken down. So, if the cooperation between the agencies are broken down, they can't share intelligence. Intelligence will obviously snap. Number 6 or 7 now is to also begin to access how much of commitment in terms of naira and kobo goes to the ordinary soldier who has been hired to prosecute this war. You cannot be telling these guys to go and fight people who are better equipped. You know the kind of I'm told that the guys who came to Dapchi came in 14 Hilux trucks. 14. Somebody must have provided it. You understand? Now, when soldiers are confronted with people who have super firepower, what do? They duck or go on a wall. You understand? It also goes to the fact that the welfare of the guys fighting this war, the welfare of those guys must be a front border issue. Yeah. You don't feed them with rations like prisoners. I have constituents there who are in the military who have reported to me the kind of food that they eat.
Are you saying they are now better catered for?
Well, I'm saying they should be. I mean, I'm just saying
they should be better.
They should be better. They should be. Listen, just go to the Marine base in Afghanistan.
Just a moment.
Those Marines don't lose. They don't miss anything apart from their family.
We have Patrick calling us from Benue. Many thanks for joining us this morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program. You can go on. You can go on. You can go on.
Number one, Dapchi schoolgirls. If the government is serious, they can rescue Dapchi. If the government is serious, they can rescue the girls through satellite images. There is nothing that happens on planet Earth today that the satellite does not capture. They can retrace the scripts and, of course, play them like the gentleman in the studio was advocating for, and we will know where the girls are right now. Secondly, as it has to do with yes, if you say they are not Earthmen, they are not planet Earthmen, then let us find out who they are and find a way of prosecuting these people so that they can stop killing our people. So this is my opinion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Patrick from Benue. Okay.
You know, when I got to the parliament in 2011, the United States Department of State sent about 8 of us out of 360 to, I think they are an 8-state tour of the United States, and we handed that tour at the Department of Homeland Security. And so we got to use them. And later on, I developed a rapport with one of them. And he said, one day we went out, and he said, I can show you where the president of Ghana is. Because the guy, we were 4 of us who went out on a drink that day. And then there was a Ghanaian there, the Ghanaian diplomat. And he said, tomorrow, come to the office, I will show you where the president of Ghana is.
On the laptop.
And then we went there. We wanted to prove him, and he said, and then put a few things and began to zoom and zoom. And by coordinates, he was saying the president of Ghana is somewhere.
Yeah.
That's one person. I'm not jagging now. It happened. I saw it.
I know about it. I use it in my research.
Thank you. So we can do more of that. That's why you have to, And then in the prosecution of this war, we must incentivize it. You don't go to fight a war when you know that your fallen soldier whose families didn't get attended to. That your friend who you were busy fighting the war together yesterday and fallen today, okay, and then after the burial, the family has been abandoned. What does that do to the morale of the soldiers who are still fighting the war? So we have all of these things to look at before we can effectively, and it's not about headsmen alone. It's not about that you must have a robust approach, holistic, robust, extensive, pervasive approach to fighting security.
Are you disappointed with all this issue of killings at the moment? a member of the APC.
He affects me as a person. I'm not going to use the word like disappointment because I know that the fight against the security is not something you can win. Only about a month ago, one knucklehead person went and shot not less than 100 people at a school in the United States and shot about 50 people dead.
Just a moment, we have Mayowa calling us from Ilorin. Many thanks for joining us this morning.
God bless you.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mayowa.
On behalf of the security of the country, sir.
The line is breaking, Mayowa. Can you change your location, please?
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you. Go on.
I want to talk concerning the security of the nation, sir.
Okay.
I was told there are forces in America, FBI, Israel into security. They don't use to avoid evil. So I think if Nigeria can go for something like that, because many of our forces, they are avoiding evil. So maybe that can help the situation of the security of this country. That's what I contribute to, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Mayowa from Ilorin. Back on the question I asked earlier.
I'm not going to use that. I am worried that that cheer happened on us. I'm worried. There's no doubt about that. And I believe that it's a call to arms. It's gone beyond a wake-up call because, it's always been there with us. But I think some of the things I've rolled out alongside with my brother here should be the template to prosecute this security thing. It's not an isolated situation. Look at the way that the same military took out that gangster from Port Harcourt, Gangana or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the same as the power of the military.
iPod.
Look at the way they took on what's the name of that guy? Nnamdi Kanu. It can be replicated. You understand?
Will you do such if you become the governor of Ekiti in tackling insecurity in your state concerning this issue of herdsmen, farmers?
It's going to be a front burner issue. Say what you will. Dr. Peter Fauci has done a little bit. I think he's the first one that's put out legislation. Even though I think the legislation is defective a little bit, but then he has shown some will, and he has personally come. But the one I don't agree is him putting hunters with Shakabula to go and face headsmen and all of that. I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to step on the throttle a little bit harder. You can't venture into it because I'm going to lead the war myself. You can't come and kill. Listen, this is the man who voted for me, or these are the people who voted for me. I'm obligated to defend their lives as much as I can within the ambits of the law. You understand? And I'm not going to spare anything to ensure that. Come on now. In any case, if I fold my arms, death is sure. If I go and attack, death is sure. Okay. So I'd rather attack. I'd rather be caught fighting than sitting on my box.
Okay, let's quickly join Promise from Benue. Many thanks for joining us this morning. Hello, good morning, Promise.
Good morning, Emmanuel, my brother.
Good morning.
Emmanuel, I like two of your topics this morning.
Okay.
The issue of the state election and the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. Is it?
Yes. Go on.
I think everything now, this insecurity issue has become a kind of political issue. I have had the opportunity of meeting 1, 2, 3 military guys that went to Maduguri for issue of Boko Haram. I have interviewed them on my own. I have asked them on my own. They will tell you openly that this thing is politics. That if it is not because of politics, that we should just give them 1 more 2 for them. They will say everything about it is politics. You want to ask, your commander will tell you not to ask. What will you do? So I think it's hard time we go back to our politicians, our leaders. Do they actually have conscience? Do they actually know their primary responsibility? So if there is a way of saying, calling most of these our leaders, calling them together for a kind of seminar, for a kind of reorientation, they should tell them, they should know what is their primary responsibility. It should be Nigeria first, not any other thing. So they should reorientate our leaders, our so-called leaders. They should talk to them. That is my first issue. Then
Thank you. Okay.
Issue of Ekiti election.
Go on.
Issue of Ekiti state election. You see, I don't know, my brother, if you are opportune to watch what happened in Kano state election on social media, there you will see people sit down in their comfortable room, begin to complain on a ballot papers. Mr. I don't know where this country is going. I don't know where we are going. I don't know what we are leaving behind for our younger generation to learn from. So if INEC will help us and make sure that this time around we actually get it right, so that we believe that 2019 will be better. If they will do better in Kitty State, I think it should just be the only thing. But we pray that INEC change their mind and do the right thing.
Thank you very much. Promise from Benue there. Okay, back to your analysis concerning putting security in checks in Ekiti.
All of these things are put on the table. I will give effect to them. I'm going to be committed to everything I've spoken to right here on this table. And I have no doubts about it that you will think twice before you come to my state to attack our people. You will think twice.
Are you confident that you will get the APC tickets?
Well, by the grace of God, I'm going to get a ticket, because again, we're talking about getting our state back, and that's not a sound bite. It's the reality. You put before, I'm asking all the delegates, 2,500 plus, that will be voting at the primaries of the party, to have a checklist for have a checklist for all of us, and begin to tick. Even if you think about party loyalty, commitment to the party, service to the party, tick all of those things. My public service record, tick it. And for the guys who are governors who are going to be running at that election, to whom much is given, much is expected. Also check them out as well. You know, for the guys who are senators, check them out. For the guys who are reps, check them out. Let me tell you, the only thing that defines a man is his reputation. Take reputation away from a man. The only thing that makes me want to do business with you is your reputation. You want to hire a megad, you ask, where are you from? You want to hire the driver that will take your children to school, and okay, fine, you want to hire, and somebody shows up at your door and says, okay, you ask him, how many years have you been driving? He tells you, I've been driving for 5 years or 10 years. And how many people have we worked for? Oh, I've worked with like 7 people. So why did you quit those jobs? Okay, when I was driving Mr. Ojo, I was taking his children to school one day, I had an accident, and the children died. I was taking the wife of Mr. Lagbaja to something, and the wife died. Would you hire the driver? And this is not a joke. And I think my people now understand the fact that we have this one chance to halt this drift. We're moving at a very fast speed down the hill.
35 aspirants and still counting. Is this not alarming?
Extremely so. Extremely so. And they talk it under constitutional cover and umbrella. Oh, is that constitutional right? And all of that. But we also have corporate obligation as a party in opposition. Knowing too well where we're coming from. There's no doubt about it. Dr. John Kadifani did his best. He did well for our party. I mean, as governor. Okay. But the truth of the matter is that things have since moved on. Okay? We are in a position to now analyze that time and then contextualize it with the future that we desire.
Just a moment. Francis, our last caller on the program this morning is calling from Nasaraman. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning.
Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning. Go on with the comments.
This morning, I want to contribute to the issue that they're discussing there in the studio about the insecurity.
Okay.
You see, when our leaders, I don't know, it's as if maybe they don't want to learn at all what is happening in other foreign countries. Most of them, they find pleasure going outside countries to go and spend their holidays and everything. Let me ask you a question. If that place is not well secure, if their security is not well intact, will they go there and live there comfortable the way they are? I mean, the way they love going there. Place like US, place like, like all some other nations that they normally go there to spend their holidays, spend their weekends, spend whatever they are going there to do party and every other thing. If those places are not well secure, will they go there? Nigeria, for instance. If somebody want to come and spend his holiday, maybe in Jos, will it be comfortable to say I'm spending my holiday in Jos? Because insecurity, our security is very bad.
Francis, you've made your point. Thank you very much. We just have to go now. Thank you very much on the program. Gentlemen, we have to go now on the program. Let me let you just speak for just 1 minute. Ekiti politics, how confident are you?
Is he on Ekiti politics? You want me to talk
just give your own assertion on the
insecurity.
We've started from insecurity, but
yes, let me start from insecurity and then move to Ekiti politics.
Okay.
You see, on that insecurity, I want Nigerians to know that it's not X-Men that are killing people. The people that are killing us are nothing but insurgents, terrorists. You want to know how much they sell one AK-47 that they carry?
Tell me, I don't know.
Well over 3-4 million for one. How much do they sell one cow? So what is the rationale behind them now carrying AK-47 with their cows? So let us have it at the back of our mind. We are having people from outside the country coming in to kill us. So let our borders, our porous borders, be properly manned, coupled with other that we have raised here. Okay. Now on Ekiti politics, I just pray that we get it right this time around, because we have a whole load of them coming out. But then I'm very sure we can do better and we get it right.
Okay, we'll pray we get it right. Bimbo, back to the issue of insecurity, Ekiti politics, a sequence of election in Nigeria, many issues at the moment. Which one are you going to pick?
Okay, let me quickly do let me do a foxtrot through all of them. Number one, security challenge. In dealing with that, we must be a step ahead, or maybe 5 steps ahead of criminals. Wherever insecurity has been fought and fought successfully, is security architecture and template must have been 5 steps at the minimum ahead of criminal and criminalities. Number one. Number two, process of elections and cost of elections. I believe very strongly that every politician should be ready for the day of referendum. An election is a referendum of your person or what you have done and all of that. So that's that. And on Ekiti politics, 35 experience and all of that, and yours truly is one of them. I honestly believe, like you said, that every Ekiti man across party lines, should go back to the deepest recess of his heart and ask, is this the best we can get out of the state? And by the grace of God, I pray that we'll get the ticket of the party, and as soon as we get the ticket of the party,
former member,
must be out of that.
Former member, House of Reps, Congressman, APC governorship aspirant in Ekiti, Bimbo Danamola, thanks for coming on the program this morning.
Thank you, sir.
We have Dr. Dayo Kadi, is a friend of the house, political technocrat. Man, thanks for coming. And that's how far we can go on Core Digest this morning. You had it there concerning insecurity and the issue of Ekiti politics. We hope things are done right in this country. And till I come your way again, I remain Emmanuel Ajayi. Go out there and do something great for this great country, Nigeria. Bye for now.